How's it going, IO? In this video, we're going to talk about Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher getting cancelled, staff stepping in to defend Jimmy Fallon, and Lil Nas X being threatened at TIFF. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are getting absolutely destroyed at the moment. They've now released a video saying that they're sorry for any pain or trauma caused by the character letters that they wrote for their longtime friend Danny Masterson, who was sentenced on Thursday to 30 years to life in prison. In a video posted on Saturday on Ashton's Instagram account, the couple addressed how these letters came about. They said that Danny's family approached them after his conviction in May and asked them to write character letters representing the person that they knew for 25 years. They insisted that these letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling. Ashton said they were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims, or to re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that, and we're sorry if that has taken place. Mila went on to say, "We support victims. We have done this historically through work and will continue to do so in the future." It's worth noting that throughout the video, both of them looked particularly frustrated. They were clearly annoyed that they had to apologize in the first place. They were obviously reading off a teleprompter and made no effort to sound like they were talking from the heart. Another reason people felt the whole thing was insincere was because of Mila's facial expressions. The general consensus is that she seemed angry with the whole thing and was in opposition to what she was actually saying. It also doesn't help that they used the word "if" when talking about taking accountability for the hurting victims. Following the sentencing on Thursday, more details surrounding the case have been revealed to the public, including the full letters which got completely leaked. In them, the couple asks the judge for leniency in the case. Mila wrote, "The first time I met Danny during our time working together on that '70s show, and from the very beginning I could sense his innate goodness and genuine nature. Throughout our time together, Danny has proven to be an amazing friend, confidant, and above all, an outstanding older brother figure to me. His caring nature and ability to offer guidance have been instrumental in my growth both personally and professionally. One of the most remarkable aspects of Danny's character is his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of substances. His influence on me in this regard has been invaluable." She went on to talk about Danny's role as a husband and a father to his daughter, which she says has been nothing short of extraordinary. Mila said that witnessing his interactions with his daughter has been heartwarming and enlightening. She explained that Danny prioritizes his family, education, and happiness above all else, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to being a loving and responsible parent. So it's pretty obvious why she got called out for that. As a character witness, she attested to Danny's positive qualities as a friend and a father, as though that would somehow take away from his crimes. The letter written by Ashton was not any better. He wrote, "As a friend, Danny has been nothing but a positive influence on me. He's an extraordinarily honest individual and intentional human being. He set a standard of being a hands-on dad." He went on to say that they've spent countless hours together with their kids, and he's among the few people that he would trust to be alone with his son and daughter. He's also a dedicated and loyal husband with an unwavering commitment to his wife. But the worst part of this comes towards the end of the letter, where Ashton acknowledges that he did commit these horrible crimes against two women, but he hopes that his testament to his character will be taken into consideration in sentencing. In other words, he would love it if a few years got knocked off his sentence. And there's one detail about Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis that has the internet even more angry. It's their work in Thorn, which is a humanitarian work to stop organized crime, specifically focusing on helping young people stay safe online. So that adds a whole nother layer of hypocrisy to this story, and that's why they're getting called out. They've received a ton of backlash online, but one of the best responses comes from actress Christina Ricci. The day after they posted that apology video, she took to Instagram and wrote, "Sometimes people we have loved and admired do horrible things. They might not do these things to us and we only know what they were to us, but that doesn't mean that they didn't do the horrible things." She talked about how it's tough to accept this duality in the people that we know and love, but if we support victims, then we must be able to take this stance. Christina went on to say, "Unfortunately, she's known a lot of awesome guys who are lovely to her at one point in time, especially in public, but in private they have proven to be horrible people who are capable of despicable acts." This is something she's sadly had personal experience with, so that's why she says we should believe all victims, since it's not easy to come forward and it's not easy to get a conviction either. And now another major celebrity is getting exposed and we have to talk about it. So what's been happening with Jimmy Fallon lately is crazy. He's now in hot water for allegedly fostering a hostile work environment at The Tonight Show. Recently, Rolling Stone released a scathing report after speaking with 16 employees about their experience working on the late night show. After the article's release, Jimmy reportedly held a Zoom meeting with the show's staff and apologized. According to CNN, he told his employees that he did not mean to create that type of atmosphere for the show and that he was embarrassed by the allegations. He said, "It's embarrassing and I feel so bad. Sorry if I embarrassed you and your family and friends. I feel so bad I can't even tell you. Jimmy started hosting The Tonight Show back in 2014 following a 5-year stint as the host of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Over the past decade, The Tonight Show has become massively popular, with clips from the show consistently going viral. But behind the scenes, working on the show is less glamorous than it seems. After speaking to staff, Rolling Stone learned about a shaky management system, seeing that there have been 9 showrunners in the past 9 years, and a massive pattern of mistreatment. Employees described frequent outbursts from Jimmy and feeling bullied by their managers. They also referred to dressing rooms as crying rooms and would even joke about ending their lives due to stress and constant belittling. One common theme amongst employees was that they didn't feel comfortable expressing their grievances to HR. One person said, "It's a bummer because it was my dream job. Writing for late night is a lot of people's dream jobs. And they're coming into this and it becomes a nightmare very quickly. It's sad that it's like that, especially knowing that it doesn't have to be that way." Another former employee said that any change to the show can only come from within. Quote, "I love The Tonight Show and I love comedy. I gave my heart and soul to that place. I want them to succeed and do well, but for that to happen, there are major changes that need to take place, starting with Jimmy. They all need to dig their heads out of the sand and do something about the very obvious problems that we all know are happening." During Jimmy's own apology, he expressed hope for the future of The Tonight Show and said that he wants it to be fun and inclusive for everyone. It's worth noting that multiple employees have also come forward to defend him during the scandal. 4 TV producers spoke to the Daily Mail, praising Jimmy as a supportive and collaborative leader who makes many of them feel like family. One staffer said, "From the day I walked in, I felt as if everyone was energized and excited about creating a very positive workplace, especially Jimmy, and I work closely with him. They noted that they are with him on a daily basis and they have to deliver bad news or disagree with him, but they still think very highly of him. Apparently he's open to changing his mind if someone else offers a difference of opinion." They said, "I cannot say enough good things about him, about how he is an empathetic person, how he hears other people's opinions, and how he's open to being flexible." Not only that, but fellow celebrities are also coming to his defense now. According to Jerry Seinfeld, Rolling Stone's recent expose includes an idiotic twisting of events. In the report, 2 employees said they witnessed Jimmy berate a crew member who was holding cue cards during the taping of the show with Seinfeld as a guest. Quote, "They say it was an uncomfortable moment. Seinfeld told Fallon to apologize to the cue card production member, which he allegedly did. The employees say this incident, which felt awkward to watch, did not make it to the version of the show that appeared on television. It was very awkward and Jerry Seinfeld was like, 'You should apologize to him,' almost trying to make it a joke. It was one of the strangest moments ever and so many people were there, so it's kind of hard to forget." Seinfeld said in a statement that this incident was not uncomfortable at all and he told a different version of events. He said, "This is so stupid. I remember this moment quite well. I teased Jimmy about a flub and we all had a fun laugh about how rarely Jimmy is thrown off. It was not uncomfortable at all. Jimmy and I still occasionally recall it and laugh. Idiotic twisting of events." The Tonight Show is currently on hiatus due to the SAG-AFTRA strike. During the first 3 weeks, Jimmy and NBC paid their staff salaries, but now they're all on unpaid leave of absence. In the meantime, he's working on a podcast with fellow late-night television hosts Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver. All the proceeds from the show called Strike Force 5 will go towards their staff until the strike ends. So at least he's taking care of his staff in this way. And now, what is going on with Lil Nas X? The premiere of the documentary Lil Nas X Long Live Montero was delayed after a bomb threat was called in at the Toronto International Film Festival. The Saturday night premiere of the film at Toronto's Roy Thomson Hall was delayed by about 20 minutes while the authorities verified that the threat wasn't credible. Lil Nas was kept off the red carpet during that time. Judy Lung, the Vice President of Public Affairs and Communications for TIFF, said in a statement that Toronto police investigated the vicinity of the red carpet ahead of the screening. Quote, "Our standard security measures remained in place during this time and the screening commenced with a slight delay. To our knowledge, this was a general threat and not directed at the film or the artist." His documentary Long Live Montero documents his 8-month tour beginning in September of 2022 for his full-length debut album Montero. The gala screening was scheduled for 10 p.m. and the documentary's co-directors arrived on the red carpet first, posing with fans that lined the entryway. But as Lil Nas pulled up in his car to join them, organizers were informed of a threat that had been called in and he was told to hold on. The threat specifically targeted him for being a queer artist, so his arrival was delayed while TIFF security conducted a sweep of the venue. A representative for the Toronto Police Service talked about the incident and said, "Yesterday at the TIFF, a passerby uttered a threat towards private security. Out of an abundance of caution, the Toronto police at the private security swept the scene and cleared within 20 minutes. The threat was general and did not target any one person. In its 46-year history, TIFF has been relatively incident free when it comes to security. In 2017, the festival invested in tighter cybersecurity measures after a hack crippled box office capabilities and citywide Wi-Fi connections at the Sundance Film Festival in Utah. In 2018, Toronto introduced sniffing dogs and bag checks at screenings, all in response to local attacks. But thankfully, none of this seemed to really affect Lil Nas X too much. In an exclusive interview ahead of the documentary's premiere, he told Variety about the impact he hopes the film will have on audiences, specifically as it addresses issues of representation. He said, "I know in my lifetime, while I'm here, I'm going to do my best to make the ceiling unreachable to where we can go as black queer people. And I mean unreachable as like it can go above and beyond." So he's always working towards better representation in the community, and he's going to continue doing so regardless of how some people feel about it. Well, what do you think about this news story? Please let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.